What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be on the Marvel Legends 85th anniversary Superior Spider-Man figure. Now, right off the bat, I do want to let you guys know that I am not a big, well, I want to say I'm not a big fan, but I don't really know much about this character, to be honest. The reason why this figure really gravitated to me was, as a kid, I had this 2-pack, which I'm going to show a picture of. But basically, it was a 2-pack of a Spider-Man and a Hobgoblin figure. And in the 2-pack, for Spider-Man Classics 2-pack, he had a costume very similar to this, if not almost identical, right? It's pretty much the same, color scheme, design, pretty much all is there, right? I think the only difference between the two of them might be like the eyes, right? I think the eyes were either like black or red or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but again, I'll show the pictures. But I absolutely loved that 2-pack. That was my good definitive Spider-Man that I played with all the time. And I just remember, like, in my head canon, I remember, like, thinking like, oh man, this is like a nano suit Spider-Man something. I think at the time, like, Spider-Man Unlimited was on TV, or maybe it was like around that time, maybe a little bit after that. But yeah, so in my head canon, that was like the coolest thing. I love the colorway, and this costume is super dope. So, and that's why this really gravitated to me. Seeing this in person really kind of brought back all that childhood nostalgia. So I'm not gonna try to pretend like I know much about this character or that I'm a huge fan. Honestly, I'm not, right? I pretty much know like the very basic bare level information, which I'll kind of give to you guys, but again, don't expect me to be an expert. But nonetheless, with this rant, this is such a dope packaging. I love this series so far. Honestly, I didn't even expect to get this, but I happened to find this at my local Target. And I remember, I think I remember this going for like 30 bucks, 35 bucks. But when I scanned the price, it was going for 25. I was like, oh yeah, that kind of helped me justify getting it. So that was a no-brainer. You guys can kind of see what he comes with. Of course, he does come with like the backpack, and you see like the tentacles in the back, and then you get the the different hands and the alternative head sculpt. So he comes with quite a bit. So this is almost kind of like a deluxe release, if you will. That is how I feel. And then, of course, you do get artwork, which is cool. One thing that you will notice is that there is no bio, right? I know the bios kind of sucked, but, if you're not really familiar with this character, you'd be like, oh, this is just another Spider-Man, like, whatever. But nonetheless, it looks cool, so let's get him out of the packaging. All right, YouTube, and this is how the figure looks outside of the packaging. I apologize about the lighting. For some reason, at least on my camera, this is showing up super dark. But I promise you I have like 4 lights on it, and it's just like it's not really doing it much to help. But again, this might also just be due to the color scheme of the figure. But nonetheless, he looks really cool. I like the design first glance. I'll kind of get into it a little bit further, but let's get into the accessories, and then we'll go over articulation. So for the accessories, he does come with these 4, I believe these are called Waldos. That's what I've heard other people calling them. They're cool. They're articulated. I don't know. They feel kind of flimsy though, if I'm honest. Like I almost kind of don't want to bend them, but yeah, I don't know. Like I can see hinges on these, but I just feel like they're not really moving. Let me try maybe one. Yeah. Oh no, man, these feel super stiff, and I don't know how much they're supposed to move. And they're cool and all. Like again, they're not like. I wouldn't say like these are my favorite thing, honestly. I mean, I do like that they rotate and stuff, so it's cool. I don't really know which direction you're supposed to put them in, honestly. I mean, I feel like this might make sense. No, I don't know. But it's cool. You get 4 of these things. Honestly, I probably would never use these, if I'm being completely honest. So, but it's cool. It's obviously part of the character's design. And then from that, you also do get two versions of the backpacks. You get this backpack, which I think is just like kind of simulates him with without the tentacles. So you kind of just clip it onto his back like so. I think that'd be that. And then of course, you have the version where you can plug in the arms right there. So it's really nice. Nice touch. And of course, you do get the alternative head sculpt. I like the silver eyes on this. This actually isn't white. You would think it's white, but this is honestly a silver, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can't have Spider-Man without his little whippy hands. That's pretty cool right there. And then, interestingly enough, instead of open, splayed out hands, you do get these like grabby claw ripping hands kind of thing. And it's interesting to note that these actually have like kind of like, yeah, they're like nails or claws, right? So I don't know if this is supposed to be how he actually is, or like if this was maybe taken from like another figure and that's just what they did, but it's definitely an interesting touch to say the least. And kind of going over the articulation. So with this, he does have this is like the old school style of like the neck joint, which is up and down. It doesn't really have the ball peg hinged head. He does have a butterfly joint, which is really nice. Can't have Spider-Man without that. I think that as of right now, that's like it's a no-brainer. It's a given. But arms feel nice. This one actually went up really well, very smooth. This one had a little bit of like you can kind of feel like there's a little resistance. And then one thing I kind of noticed right off the bat is that the butterfly joint doesn't go back that far. This I think might be something where you have to do the mod, the infamous shoulder mod that we're all used to by now. And then for the torso, he does have a classic ab crunch. I would have loved the diaphragm cut with the crunch too. I think that would have been perfect. And they could have definitely did it because of the how pretty minimal the torso is. It would have hit it with no problem at all. Excuse me. He does have a waist swivel. He doesn't have any drop down. At least I don't think so. I don't think he has a drop. Maybe he does. Yeah, he does. It's a little tight, but it's good. So he does go up. He has thigh swivel. He has the thigh, the shin swivel. And then he has up, down, really nice ankle pivot. And then one thing that I didn't even realize that he had was a toe pivot as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that they gave that. I honestly didn't think that they would have that on there. So that's really, really nice to see. And then with the head, you can go up that far. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. And then, of course, for the arms, he has the horizontal hinge. So, pretty cool. I really like it. I want to say that the bottom portion of the body, this is, I believe, I want to say this is maybe the retro Spider-Man, or this could be the Renew Your Vows, honestly. Maybe the bottom portion is Renew Your Vows. I'm not really sure. The top portion definitely isn't, which kind of leads me back to thinking this might be like the retro Spidey body, perhaps. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as we go. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Again, I really like the design. This is super, super dope. Let me go ahead and I'll switch out the head, because honestly, I don't really care too much about this head. I like it that it has like that kind of like reflective gleam on it to kind of simulate like, the comic artwork, which is pretty cool. But again, I don't really care about that. One thing to note on this one is that like the peg, it didn't really pop onto the peg. It's one of those weird like head joints where like it doesn't pop in and you just feel like it's gonna like warp the plastic, because look how small that peg is, you know what I mean? So that's one thing that I'm not really a big fan of. Like you can hear it even rubbing too, which is nuts. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. But anyways, that's pretty much as good as it's gonna get. I might try to heat it up and try to get on it, get it on another time, or maybe later after I record this. But that's pretty cool. And then I'll get the backpack on too. And while I get the backpack on, if you guys aren't familiar, and this is where I'm gonna sound like a total idiot, but from what little I know, as I try to get these on. Sorry about that. There's nothing. I'll put this in camera frame so you guys have something to look at. Basically, the reason why he has the alternate, you know, like the backpack and the you know, the legs, so to speak, is because from what I know, I believe this is actually Otto Octavius in Spider-Man's body. Like, it's his consciousness in Spider-Man's body, and I think that's how it goes, or something of that nature. I don't know what happened, if like the original Peter Parker died or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what happened, and I really couldn't tell you if like he's a good guy or a bad guy or what. I'm assuming because he's Spider-Man, maybe he is a good guy. That'd be my guesstimation. When I first found that out like years ago, I was like, yeah, man, that kind of sucks. Like, that means like as a kid, I was probably like, you know, wasn't really like, I don't know if it's the same character. Again, it's just like maybe could have been like a, a different costume or costume based on this design per se. But I'm like, Doc Ock, like, who the hell cares about Doc Ock? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if this is right either. These look kind of crazy. And again, this is something I probably won't ever use, but yeah, that's how it looks. I have seen people do like pictures of this or like videos or whatever, but like he can actually bounce on these things. He can actually hold them up pretty well. So that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to mess around with this too much. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it looks like. But in a nutshell, this is the review of the Superior Spider-Man. Again, I absolutely love this design, so this is, something that I was really gravitating to. If you guys are looking for it, it's definitely, in your local Target, so I highly recommend it. The last two that I still need, and it's on my bucket list, or not my bucket list, but my wish list, is the Iron Fist 2-pack, as well as Ghost Rider, so these are definitely, my grail so far for the year. That's stuff I definitely want to get, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Take care. Peace.